Zildjian came and asked me to help develop a line, what I play, I've always played Zildjian. They've sort of developed me, and over the years I've looked for old Ks in shops in different places and found them, and then you know, Zildjian started developing new lines, and I was always able to find something that I liked. One time I was in Armin's office, and there were a couple of prototype ride cymbals, and I just picked them up and was playing them and heard them and loved them. And those, I've been using those for about 15 or 20 years. And that's what I wanted them to sort of be able to reproduce or come up with a cymbal that was in that ballpark, sound-wise. And it's like got a very defined ride sound. It doesn't wash out, but it has sustain. It's got a nice bell, and it records real well. Sometimes I like a lower pitched attack sound, sometimes a little bit higher, but as long as it doesn't wash out, you know, like it finds its place in the mix, and they've done it with these cymbals. There's a lot of dynamics you can get out of this cymbal. It has a nice defined sound when you hit it with the beat of the stick. You could ride with the side of the stick and it gets another sound. You can crash it. The bell is nice. It's got a lot of different sounds you can get out of the one cymbal. these two cymbals that were the models for coming up with this series. And there's this one. And then there's the one back at the factory that they used to make this one, which was a little bit lower pitched. And they've really done a great job at duplicating these ride cymbals, and I've been using these ride cymbals for the past, ever since I found them in the office.
Yeah.
And they're making, all the new ones are all real close in the ballpark. They all got up. They got a nice ping. You can play with the side of the stick on them. It's got a good bell. And it's real close. They got the characteristics that I like about this cymbal are all incorporated in this and in the other ones that they're making. So that's where it came from. I like crashes that respond and open up fast. I like a rounder kind of, lower kind of opening sound. And I just told them that's what I liked, and I had some cymbals that I had found that they were making and use those as, a place to start. I mean, it's not like I developed a cymbal sound. I mean, I've always played Zildjian, so they've come up with the sounds that I've loved. And once you're lucky enough to find some that you like, if you can get them to try and reproduce those, then that's all I've done. And they've been able to do that. I don't think of myself as having a Steve Gadd sound in cymbals, but I think the sound has evolved in time because I've been in a situation where I could play cymbals and hear them recorded and hear them played back. I could hear how they blended or cut through. And what I found out over the years was that sometimes a cymbal that's got a little bit dissonant sound by itself, when it's played with a group, finds its own place, and I like that, rather than a real high pitched ride that sort of blends in with everything. A little lower pitch sort of doesn't blend as well, but sounds good because it creates its own sonic space, and it doesn't interfere with other things, but you can hear it stand out. So over the years, just from playing in different situations, I've come up with sounds that I feel are right for the music. And what I find out is when I play different kinds of music, I have to sort of change either add bigger cymbals if I'm playing louder, or like sometimes I'll use a small little sizzle cymbal for softer things. You keep on either adding to what you have or taking away, but there's a basic kind of thing. The ride sort of works good in a lot of situations. Certain crashes, it'll sound good in a lot of situations. I might have to add a bigger crash if I'm playing it real loud. This setup for me now would work in a lot of different situations. Would be real good recording, and it would work live. Depending on, like I said, I might have to add some larger crash cymbals and a louder ride if I'm playing, like in arenas. But this is a real good place to start for a lot of situations. They got like a nice a tonal area where they open up. They open up right away. They sustain long enough, and I think that these cymbals would work. For me, will work in a lot of different recording situations. The 18 and the 16 in the studio would be good. Most of my experience playing live is with 2 different 18s, because that's just dynamically where I've been, needing to go. 18 is like really the smallest, and then the cymbals get bigger from there. But that's from playing with like louder music. But in a studio, it's a whole other ballgame. You don't have to get that. You don't have to play that hard to be heard that loud. Lots of times, you can play easier and get bigger sounds in the studio. So the 18, the 16, and this ride would work real nice in the studio situation. All of these cymbals got a good dynamic range, I think. They got nice sounding bells. So you're giving yourself a lot of different sounds and a lot of different dynamics. the idea of putting a heavier hi-hat on top and the lighter one on the bottom, it just, I was doing a lot of recording, and I got confident enough to not be afraid to try different things. What I look for out of the hats is a good response when I'm playing it with the foot, a good chick. I like not only the sound, but the way it feels. Doesn't feel hard. It feels like I can't explain it. It feels like your foot can be in the cymbal. You can sort of control the dynamic even with the foot. And then just being able to hear definition on top. And when I'm playing on top, if I press down with the foot, it gets clearer. If I open it up, it washes out a little bit more. And I'm just looking for a dynamic range in the hi-hats, either playing with the foot or playing with the sticks. Being able to get different sounds, tight, very definitive things with the sticks, and then loosening up and being able to get them wash out. A good chick, a good open, like ching when you hit it and open it back up. I like to be able to get as many sounds with the cymbals as I can. I wanted them to develop hats based on what I was playing. And I bought some K Zildjians in Brooklyn when I was in the Army. A couple of sets of hi-hats, and the heavy one I'm still using. The lighter ones, they metal fatigued, and I've since switched the cymbals I've used on the bottom. But when I switch, what I'm going for is trying to replace what was there so I get the same dynamic range with the foot and with the hands. And in developing these hi-hats, it's not just a sound that we're trying to get out of these cymbals. It's like a whole dynamic range of from loud to soft, from a chick to a ching when you with the foot, from almost like a tight closed hi-hat sound to maybe even like a funky sounding ride if you play it and loosen it up. That's what I could get with the old ones, and that's the only thing I can ask them to try and do with these new ones. I think the K Custom Session series is a great series, and they're sounding great now, and as with everything else that Zildjian does, the stuff just keeps on getting better and better. They're very dynamic. I like the tone areas that they're in. I think the tone areas record good. The crashes respond fast. The hi-hats you can get definition, and plus you can get almost a ride sound with them. They get a good chick. You got a lot of, there's a lot of things you can do with all of these cymbals.